warm wishes. This video provides an overall view of the lesson on the rule of the road by A.G.GARDINER. About the author. Alfred George Gardiner was a British journalist and author. He was a prolific essayist, and his style and subject matter made the English to call him a very civilized gentleman. His essays include On Habits, On Being Tidy, and On Talk and Talkers. On the Rule of the Road was included in one of Gardiner's compilations titled Leaves in the Wind and was published under his pseudonym Alpha of the Plough. Summary. A.G. Gardiner was a British journalist. His essays address issues of day-to-day life. This essay deals with the rules of the road. It revolves around the theme of what constitutes the proper conduct of a civilized individual. It captures the very essence of civilization. It lies in the willingness of the individual to accept constraints for the benefit of the greater good. He emphasizes the necessity of certain constraints on individual if society is to function in a truly civilized manner. He says, liberty is not a personal affair only, but a social contract. A reasonable consideration for the rights or feelings of others is a foundation of social conduct. The author regrets that there are people who are much more conscious of the imperfections of others than of their own. Freedom cannot exist in vacuum. It must conform to a set of principles to ensure that one's liberties do not infringe on others. For example, freedom of speech is a liberty. If not used within limits, it may attract criticism. Gardiner speaks of the role of the police officer. If he does not act tyrannically, the traffic will be chaotic. He imposes constraints to make all enjoy liberty. Civilization can only exist when the public collectively accepts constraints on their freedom of action. confusion, mess. Peril, risk. Pedestrians, persons who walk on the streets. Chaos, confusion. So in the first slide of the synonyms, we saw confusion. Confusion means mess. Chaos is also confusion. Anarchy, lawlessness or rebellion. Preserved, maintained. Curtailed, reduced. Reduce in extent or quantity, that is, to cut short. Tyranny, autocracy. Insolence, rudeness. Interfere, hinder. Contract, commitment. Indifferent, unconcerned. Fancy, desire. Shandy, lemonade. Ridiculous, comical. Conventional, normal. Accommodate, fit in with or to adjust or adapt. Consideration, scrutiny. Antonyms, conventional, abnormal. Harsh, uncomplicated. Liberty, imprisonment. Personal, impersonal. Reasonable, unacceptable. Tyranny, democracy. Curtailed, expanded. Interfere, avoid. Outraged, delighted. Preserved, abandoned. Ridiculous, sensible. Unfortunately, fortunately. Why did the lady think she was entitled to walk down the middle of the road? The lady thought that she had liberty, so she walked down the middle of the road. What would be the consequence of the old lady's action? The consequence of the old lady's action would be universal chaos. What does the rule of the road mean? According to the author, rule of the road means in order to preserve the liberties of everybody, the liberties of everyone must be curtailed. Why should individual liberty be curtailed? Individual liberty should be curtailed, otherwise it would have become social anarchy. Everybody would be getting in everybody else's way and nobody would get anywhere. How would a reasonable person react when his actions affect other person's liberty? A reasonable person would submit to a curtailment of private liberty when his actions affect other person's liberty. Define liberty as pursued by the author. Liberty is not a personal affair only, but also a social contract too. It is an accommodation of interests. According to the author, what are we more conscious of? According to the author, we are more conscious of the imperfections of others than of our own. What is the foundation of social conduct? A reasonable consideration for the rights or feelings of others is a foundation of social conduct. How can we sweeten our life's journey? We can sweeten our life's journey with the little habits of commonplace intercourse. What does the traffic policeman symbolize? The traffic policeman symbolizes liberty and not tyranny. What is liberty according to the lady? According to the old lady, liberty is that she can do anything she wishes. Here, she walks in the middle of the road. How would liberty cause universal chaos? Liberty would cause universal chaos if it was not rightly used. Individual liberty should be curtailed, otherwise, it would have become social anarchy. Everybody would be getting in everybody else's way and nobody would get anywhere. Why there is a danger of the world getting liberty drunk, or curtailment of private liberty is done to establish social order. Do you agree? Yes. Curtailment of private liberty should be done to establish social order. If everyone asserts their liberty and ignore others' liberty, then there is a danger of world getting liberty drunk. Everybody would be getting in everybody else's way and nobody would get anywhere. It would become social anarchy. Thank you. Thank you for watching.